Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today I am continuing my series on the 2026 edition of What to Buy First when on a budget for new and returning players for Star Wars Legion. And today it is the Rebels. We are looking at the Rebel Alliance, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Han Solo, and pals. We are trying to shut down the Empire in today's video. If you are a new player or a returning player and you are thinking about jumping in, maybe you played the first edition of Star Wars Legion, you're looking to get back into it, your stuff largely is going to be all good. Maybe you're also looking at playing more than one faction. We're going to talk about that because I think the Rebels are a good faction to jump into. Especially if you're looking to play multiple factions, because there are some dual faction packs. It's a lot of very cool stuff. But precisely looking at the new versions of the Star Wars Legion product, if you're an older player that has taken a break from Legion and come back, this logo might look a little different to you. We're going to be looking at the new packaging that you're going to see here on the right, as opposed to the type of packaging that was the original version on the left. Granted, those old models are still good for the most part, but there are some changes, and we'll talk about those a little bit. There's gonna be new cards. Just about everything you need is print and play. You can get all of the conversion kit stuff off of the website. If you go to atomicmassgames.com, you can see all of the latest cards that are going to convert all of your old stuff to the new style. And you can print and play and use those absolutely free. There are going to be some card packs. If you prefer to have the card packs, we're going to have those. We're going to talk about those towards the end of the video as well. And again, links for everything we talk about will be in the video description below, so you can check all of these out. Check them out directly at Asmodee as I talk about them. Also, with the examples that we have up here, is just another reason to point out, if you're interested in playing the Republic, I think, and you wanted to play more than one faction, I think Rebels and Republic are a great double faction to play, because again, they're going to offer you two different play styles. You're going to have red saves versus white saves. You're going to have more hero-centric rebellion with lots and lots of swarmy type stuff, and then you're going to have more elite units of clones and stuff like that in the Republic. You have more Jedi on the Republic, less Jedi, but more gunslinger type characters on the Rebellion. So again, they offer you a good contrast of playstyles, but they also have certain units like the Bad Batch and R2-D2 and C-3PO that work in both factions. So that is also happens to be a pretty cool thing. Also, I want to point out that even though this is going to be my own recommendations on what to buy first, you don't have to follow this. This isn't a definitive what is best, but this is definitely some of my suggestions. There's going to be more stuff depending on when you're watching this. We have a whole lot more for Legion that's getting announced within the next month and a half or so. There's a lot of new products that are also going to be coming out, and new things are going to be announced. So again, a lot of this stuff is going to change as time goes on. That's why I redo this series. We also have a few days left to enter to win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. We're probably going to do that at the end of this week. So if you want to have a chance to enter to win that, just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. It's as simple as that. So let's go ahead and jump right in with the Rebel Alliance starter set. This is obviously the best starting place for a new and returning player. And even if you're not a new or returning player, maybe you're a current player just looking to get more stuff, the Rebel Alliance starter is easily the best way to go. This is an incredible box. There's so much in this kit. You're getting an all-new version of Commander Luke Skywalker. No mechanical difference to the old versions of Luke Skywalker, but it is a new sculpt, a new art style. This is him in his jacket. This is very iconic of his appearance at the end of A New Hope. Also, he wore this outfit a lot in the comic books that preceded the 2015 sort of resurgence of Star Wars, and it's become a pretty recognizable look for Luke. You also have 22 Rebel Troopers. That's going to be 2 units of the new Rebel Troopers, and these are all new hard plastic sculpts. The Rebels have been redone in hard plastic, so if you have a lot of old school Rebel stuff, everything here is going to be new. It's going to be hard plastic on a sprue. You're getting also unit of Rebel Commandos. 7 Rebel Commandos in this box. Between the Rebel Troopers and the Rebel Commandos, you're also going to get a lot of alien heads in there. This is a very alien-heavy box. You're also getting a unit of Wookiee Warriors. Now, the Wookiees are going to be the same as the second version of Wookiees that you're going to get in here. Now, the reason that these are in here, there's a couple of reasons, as a matter of fact, but one of them is that these were some of the first units to be redone in hard plastic, so there was certainly an abundance of Wookiees available to include in the starters, but also that you may be wondering if you compare this to the Imperial starter, which gave you 2 of the Scout Troopers, so 2 of the same special forces, whereas here the Rebels have 1 of each. Well, for one, you don't have to have perfect synergy or perfect parity, but also the Wookiees came out originally for the Rebels around in the same wave as the Imperial Royal Guard came out for the Empire, which and again, that's one of the very few units that's no longer in the game. So they couldn't make it match in a 1-for-1 kind of basis here. I will point out that while I did say that pretty much all of your old stuff is still going to be usable in the Rebel Alliance, if you are a new player or a returning player coming back into this, the only unit that the Rebels have that was kind of taken out right now is the Rebel Pathfinders. They may be coming back. It certainly seems like they may be coming back at some point, but you can still use those as Rebel Trooper models, but they don't have a new Pathfinder card. Although the other stuff that went with them, like Jin and Cassian and K2SO, all that stuff is still in the game. It's largely been speculated that Pathfinders may come back at some point in a Rogue One kind of a redesign or something like that, but we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe by the time you're watching this, it'll already be announced. But the reason I recommend the Rebel Alliance starter, for one, it is a true starter. It has everything you need to play the new edition of Star Wars Legion. It has the new cards, the new the movement tools, and range finders haven't changed very much, but there is a new 3-inch tool that's going to be in there. You also have the all the stuff for all the new battle cards and everything you need to keep score and play the game in the new edition. But also just the value you're getting here is absolutely tremendous. With $99 retail, you're getting, just the 2 Rebel Troopers alone cost more than the $99. Add in the 2 Special Forces and Luke and the dice and everything else you're going to get. And you may even want more dice. This kind of depends on if you're a brand new player, brand new to Star Wars Legion, or a returning player. A lot of players out there have tons and tons of extra dice. I have dice I could just give you if I was playing with you. A lot of extra dice. Starters have always been the best value that you can get, and this one is definitely no exception. If you are starting with the Rebels, I would honestly suggest picking up more than 1 of the Rebel Alliance starter, because of the fact that you will need at least 3 core units, and you'll have 2 in here. Now, this is enough to play a recon game, which is a 600-point format game, but if you want to play the 1,000-point, which is the standard game, you'll need a little bit more, and 2 of these will definitely do it, and you'll be in a pretty good spot with 2 of these, to be honest. This is a great way to get you going. Now, as bundles go, my next recommended buy is this limited edition bundle that is coming out soon. And that's the Echo-based Defenders Army box. They already had 1 of these in the old style, and if you had that, was a great value also. But there's a couple of excellent things about this box that I want to talk about. One of those is that you are getting Leia, and this is a special version of Leia. Unlike again, I talked about how we don't have to have exact symmetry between the Rebels and the Empire, for example. How Blizzard Force has Vader, and you already have Vader, right? But it's a different version of Vader and all of that. This is a totally different commander. You already have Luke in the starter, but here now you get Leia, and you get Leia in her Hoth gear. This is, I think, something that fans have wanted officially done for a long time, because the version of Leia that people have, I think people wanted a different version of Leia, one where she's actually kind of leading, because she was kind of acting a little bit more like an operative in Episode 3, and she's definitely more of a commander in Empire Strikes Back, and so it's great to actually have this new version of her. And not only are you getting, again, a fantastic bundle. Again, you may want 2 of these. You're also getting R2-D2 and C-3PO in this box. You're also getting the new Tauntauns and the new Rebel Veterans in this box. Now, the Rebel veterans, these are your Hoth troopers, right? These are your cold weather troopers. Very good Rebel unit, by the way. Very, very good. Again, this is a box, tremendous value here as well. It's just a great value. You might want to get more than one of these, to be frank. I think the Rebel veterans are the latest unit to be reprinted. So this is, again, you're getting one of the best Rebel core units that you can get. Just a fantastic Rebel unit all around. Tauntauns are super fun, with a whole lot of love for Tauntauns coming out very soon. Also, you can run the Echo-based Defender Battle Force. Is a great way to start you filling that out. It's like kind of an alternate rule set to run Rebels with some special shenanigans thrown in and different cards for that and everything there. Again, it's just a really cool, and you can run Recon Battle with this as well. But yeah, you're getting great sculpts here all around. And getting R2 and 3PO in here is also a really nice touch. They used to be very hard to find once upon a time because they were only available in that little terrain set for the Crashed Escape Pod. You had to buy like a whole terrain piece to get R2 and 3PO. And then since they're dual faction now too, but if you're only playing Rebels, you only have to get this. I don't think you're going to get any of the Republic cards or any of the other stuff in here. You're probably just going to get the regular R2 and 3PO card in here. And if you're playing just Rebels 2, you won't even have to worry about that. So it's a nice way to just get a whole bunch of new stuff and really fill out your Rebel army at a tremendous discount. Again, this is like almost half price of what it would be if you had to buy everything separately. So really, really great deal here. Next up, if we want to kind of expand our leaders and operatives, and it's just a fun, really cool pack. It's the customizable Rebel officer and agent. They've been doing these for every faction, and they're really cool. A number of different cards and customizable options you have with making these is tremendous. And they really give you very cool options with how to make these guys, and also a lot of really cool options on how to physically build them. You have all kinds of cool things that are inside the box in ways that you can build them out. I really like this pack. I like the different alien races that are available, the different gun options, and just the ways that you can build it. And it gives you two different miniatures, one as an operative and one as a commander, and they're fun. It's very fun. And you can personalize these and make them your own, too. You can even be like, this guy is going to be Commander Crabbok. Actually, I already have a Commander Crabbok, so this will be Operative Crabbok. There we go. So, very cool stuff. And only $39.99 for this one, for this pack. Next up, it's a heavy, the T-47 Airspeeder. Look, this is $39.99 for a heavy. Is incredible. Now, the reason that you're getting such a significant and impactful unit, usually heavies tend to be closer to $70-$80, right, is because that the amount of plastic for the T-47 is kind of small, but it still packs a punch, and they're still fun to fly, and it fits into Blizzard Force, which you probably already have if you're following the guide so far. T-47 is definitely an instrumental part of that. This is a great one to have. It's one of the first things that came out for the Rebellion. It's nice to see it, kind of redone here in the second edition. And look, it's just a great unit. These are great units, and it's good to see it show up. And because it's so little plastic, it makes it very affordable. And for the amount of impact that it has on your battles, definitely worth it. So I highly recommend a T-40, at least one, if not two T-47s. At this price, you could probably get two. If we want to kind of venture slightly outside of the Rebellion, we're getting into dual faction stuff again here, because you can use these guys with both the Empire and the Rebels, but I think they're cooler to run in the Rebels because of Grogu, right? The Outer Rim Outlaws pack. This is, yes, technically they are mercenaries, so, but you're getting Din Djarin, you're getting Grogu, and you're getting Boba Fett. Now, this is a model of Boba Fett that is kind of based off of the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett kind of version, but you can use both of these guys in both the Empire and the Rebels. I like the Boba Fett version for the Rebels. I don't know. I like both of them a little bit better in the Rebellion than I like in in the Empire. I just kind of like that a little bit better. but also as far as like Mando, you know, running the child or running Grogu is very cool with the rebels. Although it's kind of it's kind of fun. It's a little bit of you got to take care of them, right? You have to watch them. But honestly, these guys are super popular right now, and they're Mandalorians. Another thing that I always would recommend with my rebels, I don't think they're out yet for the second edition, but it's Sabine Wren and then you know, the Clan Wren, the Mandos. The Mandalorian mercenaries are available also for the rebels, although I think they're still in their 1.0 packaging. But those are certainly going to come out. Again, it's really fun if you want to run lots of Mandos, because there's actually a lot of Mandalorian options, and the Rebels are a good faction for running Mandalorians, because it's a good kind of break against the white saves that they tend to have. It gives them some nice, good, solid, you know, Beskar armor, and I think it's kind of addressing one of the perceived weaknesses of the rebellion. So I just think these guys are really fun. And this is one of my this one's definitely up to opinion. Not everybody's gonna like Mandalorian, so this is one you can skip if you want to, or getting into the stuff that's like not super critical, but it's also really fun, and one of those that looks really cool. It's not out yet, so at least as of me making this video, it's not out yet. So of course it's not super critical just yet, but yeah, it's our new commanders, mounted commanders. We've got Captain Solo, Commander Skywalker on Tauntauns. This is a really fun looking pack. It's a great way to get Han Solo into your armies if you don't already have him. It's a different version of Han Solo. It's also a different version of Luke. You're also going to get some new command cards in here. You're able to run these guys on Tauntauns, and that's really fun. And of course, you know, with Echo Base Defenders as a battle force that you can also alternatively run, you can basically run like vanilla Rebellion, just run whatever you want, or run Echo Base Defenders and have some special rules and restrictions and things like that. There's benefits to running all of that. That's just a fun thing to do, and then you're getting these cool like mounted versions of Luke and Han on their Tauntauns. So it's gonna be fun. We've seen the unit cards for them too. They look incredibly cool. So I'm looking forward to these guys for sure. And if you have your Echo Base Defenders box already, you already have one of these. But if you want to run a little bit more, the Tauntaun Riders are also coming out now. They're going to be a little bit cheaper because they expect you to buy multiples of these. So it's kind of like incentivizing you, because you might want to buy 2 more. You could run 3 units of Tauntauns, then also have Luke and Han on Tauntauns. You could go very Tauntaun heavy if you like that sort of thing. If you're more of a cavalry, a mounted beasts kind of person, this could be a really fun one. Also is going to work well with Echo Base Defenders. So that's something to think about. And if you already have Tauntauns, these are also an updated sculpt, so they're going to look and feel really cool. I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up when it comes out, because I am planning on picking up the Echo Base Defenders. So it's like I don't know how many I'm really going to need, because I do have some of the old ones as well. But again, this is one of those where we're in the less crucial stuff right now, but they're like the nice to haves. Speaking of nice to haves, Heroes of the Rebellion. Now this is more, I think, aimed at maybe a returning player who wants the updated sculpts. You're getting different sculpts here. You're getting Jedi version of Luke, which is cool. You can run Luke as an operative with his green lightsaber and his black Jedi outfit. You're getting Chewbacca here, which is cool. You're also getting Leia and Han. You would probably already have Leia. You probably already have a version of Han if you're following this, but maybe not. But this is going to get you that commander version of Han. You're also going to get Chewbacca, who's cool. You can run Chewbacca. You can, if you already got some Wookiees now too. Maybe you want to kind of do a little bit more of a Wookiee thing. And you can definitely do that. Also kind of works well if you're dual faction and playing the Republic, because Wookiees have a really cool battle force in the Republic that is supposedly going to be getting some work done to it here probably this year. So that's also exciting. This one is less critical for new players because you're following this. You may already have a version of Han. You may already have Luke and Leia, although this is the Jedi version of Luke, which can be run as an operative. There'll be some different cards here. But the only thing that's really new that you're getting here is going to be Chewbacca. And that's going to be less critical for a $69.99 pack. Unless, of course, you really want all of these things, and there's nothing wrong with that. it's less critical at this point, for the price point. As we're talking about things that are maybe a little less critical, again, the C-3PO and R2-D2 pack. The price point on this one is definitely a little bit lower, but if you've got the Blizzard Force box, you may already have these. This one is a dual faction pack, though, so this one's probably a little bit better for the Republic. But you're getting also, you're getting an R2-D2 and C-3PO card for the Rebels. Also for the Republic, you're also going to get that C-3PO for the Ewok Battle Force, because he can play as their deity, their shiny golden C-3PO commander for the Ewoks. But, so get a little bit less necessary here, because the cards are a print and play as well. But, if if you're watching this in the future and these are available, but maybe the Blizzard Force isn't, this is at least one way for you to get this stuff in one box. Now, if you are a returning player or you have like an old collection of all the 1.0 kind of the original Legion stuff, you might want physical versions of the cards. Again, they're print and play available at atomicmassgames.com, but you can also check out the Rebel Alliance unit card pack. This is going to have the updated version of all the old unit cards that came over into 2.0, or the current version of Star Wars Legion. There's also a command card pack. These are going to be the command cards that your commanders play. Also, the regular upgrades cards pack, which you probably just need one of these for everything. And then also the battle deck card pack. And again, you're going to get pretty much, if you get the starter, you're probably going to have all of this stuff anyway. But if you just want to piecemeal it out and make sure you have card packs for individual things, all of those are available as well. And that is our list of what to buy first on a budget. Obviously, really, just to reiterate, stick to the, starting out with the starter is a great way to go. And even 2 copies of the starter. But get that, a starter and an Echo-based Defenders bundle is going to get you a long way there. And then you have the freedom to kind of just, all right, what kind of salt and pepper do you want to add to your list beyond that? Because you now have all the makings of a fully armed and operational battle station, or should I say, Rebel Alliance. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world, and make sure you check the links in the description below. Everything we talked about will be linked down there. Also, you can head over to Battle Foam and find out some amazing options for foam cases, storage options, Magna racks, ways to transport your armies in safety and style. You can use code Crabbok VIP to save 15% off of your Battle Foam purchases. So if you want to do that, you certainly have the option. There'll be links for that also down in the description below. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you again. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. The spice must flow. And always wash your socks.